Procrastination doesn't start when you open Netflix. It doesn't start when you start to scroll. It doesn't even start when you decide to do it later. Procrastination starts much earlier than that. And if you miss that moment, everything that follows feels inevitable. If you've ever wondered why procrastination feels automatic, like it just happens to you, nothing is wrong with you. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not bad at discipline. You're just missing the moment when procrastination actually begins. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact moment that procrastination starts, why most people only notice it after it's too late, and how catching it earlier changes everything. This isn't about forcing yourself to work. It's about noticing the shift before avoidance takes over. Most people describe procrastination like this. I was gonna do the thing, and then suddenly I wasn't. It feels random, sudden, unpredictable. But procrastination is rarely spontaneous, it's sequential. By the time you're avoiding the task, a lot has already happened internally. You just weren't taught what to look for. So you notice procrastination at the behaviour level, not at the signal level. And by then, pressure is already sky high. Here's the myth that procrastination starts with avoidance. It doesn't. Avoidance is the end of the chain. Procrastination actually starts with a much quieter shift, a moment most people miss because it doesn't feel dramatic. It feels subtle. Procrastination begins the moment a task changes the emotional temperature. Not when you refuse to do it, but when it stops feeling neutral. That moment might sound like, this is really important. I can't mess this up. This says something about me. I should already be further along. Nothing external changes, does it? The task is the same, but internally the stakes are rising, and that rise in stakes is the moment procrastination actually begins. When the emotional weight increases, your nervous system reacts immediately, not consciously, not verbally, automatically. It asks one question: is this safe? And safety here doesn't mean physical danger, it means emotional safety, that your identity feels safe, expectation safety, uncertainty tolerance. If the answer is maybe not, your system shifts into protection mode, not to sabotage you, but to reduce perceived threat. That's the moment momentum becomes fragile. Most people miss this moment because it doesn't look like procrastination. You're still working, you're still thinking about the task, you might even be preparing. Inside, something has shifted. You move from I will do this to I need to do this right. And that tiny word, right, changes everything for you. Pressure replaces clarity. And once pressure is present, procrastination is already in motion. Here's the mistake. Most people wait until avoidance shows up before intervening. But by then, pressure is so high, your safety is low, self-talk is harsh, guilt is already present. At that moment, just start advice feels impossible. At that point, the advice to just start feels impossible, not because you're unwilling, because your nervous system is already protecting you. You're late to the moment that mattered. When you catch procrastination early, everything can change, because early on, pressure is still adjustable. The task is still flexible. Safety can be restored easily. You don't need motivation. You don't need discipline. You just need to notice the moment the task becomes heavy. That's the momentum reset window. Miss it and you end up fighting yourself later. Catch it and momentum never collapses in the first place. So here's what to watch for. Not behavior, internal shifts. So especially a sudden sense of importance, a tightening in your body, urgency mixed with hesitation, the thought I should already be doing this. That's the signal. Not I'm procrastinating, rather pressure just entered the room. That's your cue to intervene, okay? So when you notice that moment, do this. First, pause. Don't push forward. Second, name it. This just got difficult. Third, ask one question. What feels unsafe about starting this right now? Not forever, not finishing, just starting. Then reduce the task until it feels almost too easy. Make it as small as you possibly can, a 15-minute micro mission. You're lowering the stakes before avoidance appears. That's how you catch procrastination early. This works because you're no longer fighting procrastination, you're intercepting pressure. And pressure, not laziness, is what blocks momentum. When safety is present, action doesn't need to be forced, it just emerges quietly, naturally, repeatably. So I want you to hear this today. Procrastination doesn't start when you avoid something. It starts when pressure quietly replaces safety. You only notice procrastination at the point of avoidance, and then you're already too late. But if you learn to catch the moment it begins, you don't have to fight it at all. If you want a clear, step-by-step way to work with this, to reduce pressure early and build momentum without burnout, the Momentum Reset method is linked in the description. And if this resonated, I would love to know, what's the first sign you notice when a task starts to feel difficult for you? You don't need to try harder, you need to notice sooner.